See both men walk on stage. Let's throw it down to your MC, Mr. Thomas Schreiber.
Ladies and gentlemen, will it be repeat or redemption? Our main event this Saturday is a rematch scheduled for 12 rounds in the middleweight division. Let's first welcome from Ilford, Essex, England. His professional record, 23 wins, just 1 defeat, 14 wins come by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the former WBA Continental Welterweight Champion, Conor the Destroyer Benn.
Conor Benn looking very dapper, very different. I've not seen anything like this before. Very, very different. Just for grand arrivals, I can't imagine what the press conference attire is going to be. I feel like he's been different this fight week, or this fight build-up, Barry. I feel like it's a different Conor Benn now.
Yeah, he hasn't got. Again, they haven't got to sell the fight. The fight sold itself, didn't it? The first fight sells this fight. I mean, he's beaming full of confidence, and I understand why. Even though he get beat in the first fight, he showed some really good qualities there. He knows now he can dig deep in a hard fight that he's up against it.
Okay, Conor Benn, here we go again. When you think about how you're feeling now, perhaps in comparison to how you did in April, just tell the world what's going through the mind of Conor Benn a few days away from the rematch.
Yeah, listen, I'm just excited. All the hard work's done now, ready to just jump in there and do another on him, to be honest, mate.
What feels different for you this time, do you think, and why?
Yeah, just better prepared. I mean, I've done everything I could with what I had, so to be here now, I feel more prepared. At middleweight is my first fight up at middleweight, so I feel like I filled into the weight nicely. Yeah, I feel good, man.
You have a word tattooed on your arm, Conor. That word is redemption. No doubt your dad's been on you already this week and throughout the build-up about what this means. Revenge, not just for the family, but for you. How much fire does that give you in the belly when you think about getting revenge and beating Chris Eubank?
Oh, it's quite funny. So I've actually got redemption and I've actually got revenge on the same night before we even fought. So it's, yeah, it's quite funny. But yeah, I'm excited to go in there and just do what we know I can do. You know, I know I can hurt him, and I'm going to go out there and capitalise on the mistakes he made in the first fight and go out there and give the fans what they want.
Told us you won't be as emotionally invested this time. You said that's what went wrong last time when you came face to face yesterday. Though a few comments about a Rolls Royce that you claim Chris paid for when he missed weight, comments about toenails as well. When he is in front of you, though, you still struggle to contain yourself at times?
Oh, I mean, listen, he ain't my cup of tea, but I haven't got to like him, you know, and that's that. But ultimately, we're going to both go in there and put it all on the line, and the best man's going to win, which I believe will be myself.
I do just want to ask you on a slightly different note. News formally announced today that Chris Eubank Jr. is beginning to become a father to twin boys. You've got 2 young children at home. Do you have any parental advice, perhaps, for Chris Eubank Jr.?
Well, first off, this ends here. The rivalry ends here. This is it. The Benn Eubank chapter's done. That's it, it's finished. So I hope you guys enjoy. As for the parenting tips, not really, mate. Credit to Victoria. She's the best mum there is.
Early prediction. Conor, how do you do it on Saturday night?
I go out there and give him a good beating. I go out there and beat him up. That's it. And, you know, this time a little bit more calculated, still emotional. I fight with my heart on my sleeve. I'm an emotional fighter. If you followed me in my career, I'm an emotional guy anyway. So ultimately, I will still be emotional, but it's down for me to keep it disciplined in there.
Conor, we can't wait. Welcome to Fight Week. We're going to swap Conor Benn out for 2 very important figures behind the scenes. Firstly to you, promoter Eddie Hearn, and father, 2-weight world champion as well, the great Nigel Benn. Nigel, let me actually come to you first. What have you noticed in your son, perhaps different this time throughout the whole build-up in comparison?
Well, completely different. The first fight, you know what he went through, getting called a drugs cheat, doing all this, went through a lot of stress, and now he's completely been exonerated, been cleared, everything. Now he's in the right frame of mind. Well, that's what I like about him, is his mindset is the key. Before, he was all over the place. He was throwing punches from South Africa, Germany, all over the place. This time you will see Conor at his best if he stick with his game plan. Well, you know what's actually nice? The whole team has just been relaxed because of him. No stress, no getting angry, just absolute nothing. Mate, what's gone on? The whole camp has been so peaceful. He knows what he's got to do, and the team is 100% confident in what he's going to do.
Just final one as well, Nigel. Look, I don't want to remind you, I'm quite scared to remind you, but the Benns are still searching for that win over the Eubanks. What's been your message to him?
But you know what, it's not even that. You know, I thank God for bringing Chris in my life and for bringing Chris Jr. in Conor. So, you know what, it's going to be a great night for Conor. I know that. But the difference is I'm just glad that, you know, that we've got a family just like us that just likes to fight. But I know we're going to be victorious on Saturday.
Okay, fantastic stuff. The great Nigel Benn in the house. And let's just grab a quick word from promoter Eddie Hearn as well. Eddie, fight week finally here. Feels pretty special. What have you made of Conor's energy so far?
I love what I see. Totally different this time. I mean, at this point last week, we were keeping him calm. You know, he was definitely nervous going into the fight. We probably underestimated the magnitude of the event. The event itself was so special. The fight was so special. And I think as a young fighter, what he would have learned from that night and how he would improve will come to light on Saturday night. I think we're going to get another tremendous spectacle. Both these guys are tremendously tough. Both these guys won't give an inch. Both these guys are desperate to win. And that's why you're going to get another classic on Saturday night. But what I see from Conor Benn this time is a mature fighter, someone who's had that experience now. The body looks completely different up at 160. And that was the first tough fight he's been in, and he wants more, and he's got so much more in the tank. This tank's nowhere near empty. The trenches have only just been visited for the first time. He wants more trenches, he wants more pain, he wants more volatility, and he's ready to do whatever it takes to win on Saturday night. And you've got two warriors in there ready to put it on the line. You're going to see another classic fight.
Okay, great stuff, Eddie. Well, that is one half, of course, of your main event from Team Benn. Team Eubanks will be heard from next, but first, back to Thomas Triber.
And now let's welcome, from Brighton, England, his professional record, 35 wins, 3 defeats, 25 of his 35 wins come by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the former IBO world champion, Chris Eubank Jr.
The enigma, certainly an enigma, good fighter as well, backs it up, and has always been fantastic in this build-up. And I feel like the mistakes he made last time, particularly the weight cut, I think he's going to get spot on this time. He can't get it wrong twice.
Yeah, it's going to be difficult for him, but it is for most fighters, but I think it's not making it, it's how you make the weights. I think no, I think he would have got it right. He looks a lot healthier already, let's be honest, and I think we might see a better Chris Eubank, and if we do, it's going to be a harder night for Conor Benn.
Okay, here we go. Chris Eubank Jr., welcome to Fight Week Part 2. Firstly, congratulations in order. I think everyone who saw the clip of you and your father formally announcing you're going to be a father to twin boys, everyone loves seeing it, and I guess when you're in a fight week steeped in history, family and father history, seemed like the perfect time to let the world know.
It's a blessing. It's a blessing, and I'm very proud and I'm very excited for that next chapter of my life.
When you made your entrance into the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium alongside your dad in April, when you made your ring walk alongside him to Simply the Best, you could see what it meant to you. But in that clip, when you gave him that news, where did that rank for you in terms of moments of pride you've had in your journey in life?
You know, this is not the environment that I feel like talking about things like this. Let's stick to the boxing.
In terms of the mindset, then, let's talk about that and the motivation. You've already beaten Conor Benn. You cemented what many thought was Eubank's supremacy in April. So what is the big motivation for you this time round?
I'm a fighter. This is my life. This is what I was born to do. You know, I've heard people, including my father, say that retirement is on the cards. You know, I should sail off into the sunset. It's just not who I am. As long as I have that fire in me to keep getting in that ring and keep getting in them gyms and waking up early, I love the lifestyle. I love who I am as a fighter and the way it makes me feel. So that's all it is, testing myself, giving the fans what they want to see, and pushing myself as far as I can go. That's the motivation now.
Conor says he's not as emotionally invested this time when it comes to this fight with Chris Eubank Jr. Do you believe him? What have you made of his energy in the build-up this time round?
I don't know. I've only seen the guy once. He was cracking some jokes when we were facing off. It's not going to be funny when that bell goes in a couple of days' time, that's for sure. But we'll see what happens.
He says he's better prepared. How's it been for you having Bomac back by your side in this camp? What's it given you?
Bomac is a genius. This man is, you know, he's at the top. You know, he's shown time and time again that he has that secret sauce. We had a great camp for the Liam Smith 2 fight, and that's why I knew that he was the man for the job here in this rematch against Ben. We got some tricks up our sleeve.
Bomac, why is this a relationship that works, fighter and coach?
Because we both got the same thing in common: win.
What do you see being the difference, or perhaps the similarities on Saturday night? How do you believe your man does it?
We going out there just to get the win. You know, if the knockout's there, he in shape to get it. But right now, we just worry about the win and nothing else about it.
Great stuff. Final one to you, Chris. I asked Conor the same question. You'll be asked this question a lot in fight week. But how do you see yourself beating Conor Benn on Saturday night when you do see the fight in your mind?
By any way, by any form, by any means necessary within the rules of boxing. Whether it's a first-round knockout or a 12-round war, Chris Eubank Jr. will defeat Conor Benn once again.
Fantastic. Chris, wish you the very best of luck on Saturday night. Thanks to you, Bomac, as well.
Work time, y'all.
Work time.
Work time.
I love it. Guys, back to you.
Work time. Chris looks like he is cutting weight. I can always feel like everything just slows down a little bit with him, but he also looks like he's ready for business. All right, this is what we've got coming up for the rest of the fight week. Media workouts on Wednesday. Thursday is the press conference where I expect there will be fireworks. Friday, the weigh-in, and then later on after weigh-in, Box Raw sparring, which is going to be very interesting. And then obviously Saturday night, Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, live on DAZN. Exclusively, we are going to see this story between the Eubanks and the Benns maybe finish. I say maybe because we know both of them have got kids now. So anything could happen in 25 years' time. I love it. I'm excited now as well. I was a bit like, okay, this feels underwhelming. All of a sudden, I'm like, okay, no, we're ready to go.
Busy, we've got the first event up and running, and then you get the real feel, the buzz starts, and yeah, I like what I hear from both. They're both fired up, obviously, so much pride on the line. This contest really does mean so much to them. It's a must win for Conor, it really is. Chris won't want to lose though. He wants to keep that Eubank supremacy that he keeps talking about. The stage is setting nicely.
What can Bomac add differently to Chris this time round that he wasn't getting from Jonathan Banks?
I'm not saying from Jonathan Banks. Jonathan Banks might be giving it to him and he might not be listening. But it's the consistency with the jab. Consistency with that jab will keep Conor Benn at bay, will keep him resetting, will keep him from fighting too far out, and that gives you back the opportunity to get that uppercut into play and combinations. A busier Chris Eubank is a better Chris Eubank. So maybe the fitness, or not fitness, conditioning to doing the boxing in spurts, I would say, would probably be better for him. There was rounds, those middle rounds where he took his foot off the gas a bit, and Conor Benn took advantage of that. But he did finish strong, so he does have a good engine. But I still think, as Darren, we both think the same thing. The jab is the key for both, and it's certainly for Chris Eubank Jr. to keep busy with that jab and it be nice and sharp.
I think Bomac as well, sorry Ade, will install some discipline, you know, and keep him centred and get him back to what's working. And it is that jab, it is keeping the distance, trying to impose that size into the contest, but correctly. Don't get carried away, don't get clumsy or greedy, work behind the jab, bring the feet in. And at times, when he was leaning on and throwing shots around the side of the body, around the side of the head, they were taking effect.
I'd say what he never did, and I think with Bomac they might do, because Terence Crawford does it, is set traps. I think you're trying to set traps for Conor Benn, try and invite him in, almost half show him something to give him an opportunity to make that mistake for you to really put it on him. I think if he can push Conor Benn back, keeping that distance as well without getting too short with the punches, I think he makes it an easier night for himself.
One thing Conor Benn did say is that this is his first time fighting at middleweight, last time in April. Although he's fought above the welterweight division for a few years now, first time officially a middleweight. Yeah. This is the second time round. Surely there's things they learn from what weight is he going to be good at in the ring this time round.
Exactly, yeah. Look, he's not alien anymore. He's got a feel for it. He's got a feel for the power, the presence, and the skill experience, albeit it's only It was 12 hard rounds, and you bank that from it. You'll feel better as a fighter, you'll feel better as a person having that experience. And yeah, he's in a good place, and he's going to have to be in the best place possible, Conor, if he's to get the win Saturday.
We think of their dad's first fight back in 1990, and it was a war. I mean, they were trying to like rip each other's heads off. The second fight wasn't that. The second fight was a war in some part, but more. I almost feel like I could almost replicate that a little bit.
It could, but I
don't want it to.
It could, but without being disrespectful, I think better fighters, better boxers, I would say, more skilled than the dads. So I think they understood how to go to them, so they were trying to be a little bit smarter. I think Conor can't do that, and I don't think Chris will allow that. He'll have to fire back. So I think it's just as exciting because they're not maybe as technically as good.
Yeah. You know Conor's trainer for so many years. He was your trainer, Tony Sims. Doesn't really like to talk, doesn't really come and do all the things on stage. What would he be telling Conor in terms of mentally getting prepared for this?
And that's a big thing, the mental side of it, to keep your composure, don't lose your head. Again, I use discipline for Chris Eubank Jr. I think the same thing required for Conor Benn. He's going to have to stay focused, switched on, and listen to instructions. Don't let his heart rule his head.
Okay, 3 have become 4 in the studio. Chris Eubank Jr. has joined us just as we're playing a bit of Conor Benn as well. We had you up earlier, Chris, I will say this. So we're not just showing Conor here. Here we go again, Chris. The only thing different, I guess, this time round is the addition of Bomac again. You made that decision to switch from Jonathan Banks back to Bomac. Bomac was in your corner for Liam Smith. Was that an easy decision? Because Bomac was very good. I mean, you got a really good victory with Jonathan Banks. Was that easy to switch to Bomac?
I just knew that I needed a little bit of a different energy and a different direction for this camp. I didn't want to go in there with the same kind of strategy, and outlook on the fight. Bomac is a master at coming up with the perfect game plan. We saw that in what he produced with Terence against Canelo. So I'm very confident, I was very confident he'd be able to do the same thing with me and Conor in the rematch. And we're going to find out if I was right in a few days' time.
The boy said a bit earlier, if this is a boxing match, you convincingly win because you're the better boxer, you've been doing it longer. If it turns into a fight, again, that's something you can win at, but you allow Conor to come into it more. Is Bomac going to almost make you box a bit more rather than all the emotions of the first fight where you guys were just slugging it out?
I'm not going to tell you what Bomac is or isn't going to do. That's for the fans to see on fight night. It could very well be a war. It could very well be a strategic boxing match. Tune in, you'll find out.
Chris, look, obviously you won the first fight and you did a lot well. What was it that you wasn't happy with the first fight?
I got hit a few too many times. Got cut. No performance is ever perfect. There's always things you can look at and know that you can improve on. And that's what this camp's been about. Rewatching the fight, picking the things that I didn't do so well, working on those things, and looking at the things I did do well and improving on those things.
I've been lucky enough to cover most of your career, which has been a joy, by the way. But most of the time you seem to you carry your own counsel in the corner, it feels. So now with Bomac in your corner, and you've had the trainers who you've listened to, but I mean, is it hard not to just keep your own counsel in between rounds? Because you're so used to, you seem like you're so used to being in your own mind and figuring things out for yourself, but you're going to have Bomac instructing you. Is that going to be difficult not to stick to a same pattern? Does that make any sense to you?
No, I understand. It's one of those things.
It's a habit, eh?
When you're in that ring, it actually doesn't matter what your coach or your teammates are telling you. There are going to be times when you're going to just do what you got to do.
Yeah.
And I have kind of gone throughout my career kind of using my instinct and my natural ability to get through these fights. It's been, it's been a task. It's been something I've had to work at, to listen to other people and implement what they're saying instead of what I just feel like doing. It's tough. It's not easy. but I feel like I've gotten better at it over the last few years, and I guess you guys will see how good I am at it now in a few days' time.
Is that a trust issue? That you don't maybe is that no? I don't mean disrespectfully. Just that you just don't believe people enough, and you just think I know right.
It's not about trust. I mean, obviously, you know, when you're working with certain trainers or certain people, you have an outlook on who they are and their knowledge as a coach. So you know, the more successful a coach is, the more you trust in what they're saying. But it's not really about trust. It's about the fact that I've gone at it alone for so many years. It's like, do I want to give that power over to someone else? It's very hard to do that.
Well, you've got one of the best trainers in the business to let him handle it for you. You've done that ring walk so many times to big fights, big arenas, stadium fights. Does it become the norm, or do you still get the goosebumps when you're making that walk, as you are going to do on Saturday?
There's goosebumps. There's emotion. There's everything that comes with what you would imagine walking through thousands and thousands of people. But I am able to block all of that out. I'm able to mask it. I'm able to not show anybody what I'm feeling. I bottle up inside and I unleash it on whoever's in that ring in front of me.
That you do. The build-up to this one's been completely different from the first one. The first one I felt was alarming at times. The energy from both of you, I was like, oh, this could go off at any time. There was security everywhere. This one's been a bit different. Conor's almost seemed to become friendly with you. I watched the face-off, almost like he was trying to make jokes with you. Have you noticed a different Conor Benn this time round as opposed to the first time?
I don't think he was making jokes. He was trying to annoy me a little. He was referencing hoping that my skin a little bit. That doesn't work. But yeah, the build-up has been different. It's a different energy this time around for sure, because we've already fought. I've already won. So that jostling for, you know, I'm man, I'm gonna assert my dominance, that's already kind of been and gone. We now have that respect for each other. Okay, we did the 12 rounds. We had that amazing fight. There is a respect there now, and that stops eggs being smashed on people and certain things being said before the fight. But once that bell goes, all that respect is going to go out the window.
Final one, Chris. I think you mentioned on stage that your dad and other people were saying enough's enough, right? Sell off into the sunset. When you look at the pound-for-pound list, and Usyk's going to be 39, Crawford 38, Bivol 35, Beterbiev 40. Do you feel like now at 36 you're still in the best shape you can be in to continue and have more and more and more fights for the coming foreseeable future?
I was actually having a conversation about this the other week, and I don't know if it's because of, you know, sports science and, you know, and all these things which, you know, fighters are now using to where they're able to continue to perform at the elite level as they get older, or if it's just a weaker pool in the new generation coming up.
Yeah.
I don't know which one it is. Maybe it's a mixture of both. But for me, at 36 years old, I'm still strong. I still have that fire in me. My father's talking about retirement. That's a man who's worried for his. And I understand it. But if you were to ask him, if he was in my position, if
he would still fight.
If he had the fire that was in my belly, if he had that at my age, would he have said no to a big fight? I don't think he would.
I don't think he would either. Chris, thank you very much. Okay. Congratulations as well, Chris, as well. All right, look, loads more to come this week. But remember, this will take place at this magnificent stadium, the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. So media workout. That's going to be fantasy. And we're going to see a little bit of stuff for people. But just to quickly remind you, we're going to have from Chris Eubank Jr. and Conor Benn. Here's why.
On DAZN, November 15th, Eubank Jr. versus Benn 2. For over 3 decades, 2 names have been carved into British boxing legend, the Eubanks and the Benns. From the father's sequel in the 90s to the son's sequel today. The greatest rivalry British boxing has ever seen. Their first fight was a modern classic, a Fight of the Year contender in front of the entire nation with the world on the edge of their seats. And this November, it's the rematch. Chris Eubank Jr. looks to close the case once and for all, while Conor Benn looks for his revenge. The greatest families in boxing go to war once again on DAZN. Eubank Jr. versus Benn 2, November 15th. Watch only on DAZN.